Hey there, welcome to the Wolf of Content Street Show. I'm your host Mithyll, and today we are diving into one of the most powerful tools you can add to your content creation arsenal, visual storytelling. Whether you are a solopreneur, an artist, or a coach, this episode is all about showing you how to tell a story visually and why it's an absolute game changer. Now let me ask you something. Have you ever scrolled through a post on social media and glanced at a huge chunk of text and just kept scrolling? Well, no judgment. We have all been there. That's because, let's face it, plain text can feel like homework sometimes. But thrown in an engaging visual and suddenly your audience is hooked. Visuals that have magic to grab attention and communicate emotions instantly. By the end of this episode, you will have a clear understanding of how to weave visuals into your stories to keep your audience glued to your content. And most importantly, coming back for more. So let's get started. Let's talk about the problem first. You got an amazing stories. You have written content that you know should be grabbing attention, but it's just not sticking. You are struggling to keep your audience engaged with just words on a screen. No matter how hard you try, your engagement is low. People are skimming through your content, or even worse, not reading at all. That's where visual storytelling swoops in. Mickey, one of my longtime solopreneur buddies, ran into this exact issue. He was pouring his heart into his blogs and social media posts, but his audience just wasn't connecting. His words were strong, but something was missing. Imagine spending hours crafting a post only to see it fall flat. You start thinking, maybe people just don't have the attention span anymore, or maybe you are not good enough. It feels defeating, right? But here's the thing. It's not that people don't want to engage. It's that the way we communicate has evolved, and visuals are the language of today's audience. For Mickey, it was frustrating. He had the content, but his delivery needed that extra punch. That's when we dug into the power of visuals, and guess what? His audience engagement skyrocketed just by tweaking how he told his story visually. Now, why does visual storytelling work so well? Our brains process visuals 60,000 times faster than text. Yes, you heard that right. 60,000 times. That means visuals hit us on a gut level, and when combined with words, they create a much more powerful, memorable experience. Visual storytelling isn't about adding pretty pictures for the sake of it. It's about enhancing the story you are already telling in a way that captivates your audience and keeps them engaged. Let me share some tips with you. Tip number 1. Use images to trigger emotions. Mickey's first step was incorporating powerful images that aligned with the emotions he wanted to evoke. A picture is worth 1,000 words, right? When you choose images that reflect the tone of your message, whether it's happiness, excitement, or even a bit of vulnerability, it instantly draws people in. Think about how a single photograph can make you feel. That's the kind of power we are talking about here. Tip number 2. Keep it simple and consistent. Visuals don't need to be complex. Sometimes, the simple images have the greatest impact. Mickey started by keeping his visuals clean and consistent with his brand. If your brand colors are blue or white, stick to those. If it helps your audience identify your content at a glance. Consistency builds recognition. Tip number 3. Infographics are your best friends. Next, we worked on infographics. Infographics combine text and visuals to break down complex information in an easy to digest format. Mickey used them to summarize his long blog post, and the engagement levels shot up. People love quick, actionable takeaways. Tip number 4. Videos, the ultimate engagement tool. Here's where things got fun. We introduced short video clips into Mickey's storytelling. Videos are hands down one of the most engaging form of content out there. Whether it's a 30-second explainer or a simple behind the scenes shot, videos create a deeper connection. Do you agree with me? Mickey noticed that when he started doing this, his audience not only engaged but also shared his content more frequently. Tip number 5. Use visual metaphors. Visual metaphors are another powerful tool. Instead of telling your audience how frustrating something is, show them through images or graphics that represent that feeling. For example, Mickey used an image of a traffic jam to symbolize how cluttered his mind felt when he wasn't organized. It's a relatable visual cue that makes your message stick. Tip number 6. Incorporate data visualization. People love data but hate reading numbers. Presenting data visually, think pie chart, bar graphs, or even simple numbers with icons, makes complex information accessible and honestly more enjoyable to consume. This worked wonders for Mickey when he was explaining the results of his recent marketing campaign. And tip number 7, leverage user generated content. Now here is a big one. Mickey started sharing visuals from his audience, photos of customers using his products, fan artwork, etc. This not only boosted engagement but also helped build trust within his community. When people see themselves represented in your content, they are more likely to engage. So Mickey's journey from plain text to visual storytelling helped him transform his brand, and it can do the same to you. Remember, visuals are the language your audience speaks today. By incorporating powerful images, videos, infographics, and even user-generated content, you can enhance your storytelling and make a deeper connection. The great thing about visual storytelling is that it doesn't just enhance your content, it makes it memorable. People are more likely to remember your message when it's supported by strong visuals. So whether you're posting on social media, sending emails, or writing blog posts, always think about how you can use visuals to elevate your story. Alright, that's it for today's episode. I hope you are ready to dive into the world of visual storytelling and start transforming your content. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to subscribe to the Wolf of Content Street Show so you never miss out on these juicy insights. And hey, I would love to hear how you are using visuals in your storytelling. Send me a message or tag me on social media. Let's keep the conversation going. Until next time, keep creating, keep storytelling, and keep making an impact with your content. Ciao.